Welcome. I'm Dr. Mariana from Yes Lab, and today I'm going to introduce you to the Breath of Health ARP 600. 600 unit indicates the output of hydrogen, which means milliliters per minute. So you get 600 tops milliliters per minute with this machine, and it's also adjustable. You can adjust it to lower number from 0 to 600, of course, 0 point something. You want some hydrogen, right? So you definitely are going to want to set it up at the highest, 600 milliliters per minute. And the way you're going to utilize the machine, of course, the power button is at the back, so you power it up. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the machine. In the back of the machine there are 2 fans, which are wonderful because it helps to cool the machine as it's generating the hydrogen. And the machine also has a tank, and the top cover for the tank is over here at the top, and you uncover that first. When you receive your machine, you will obviously receive the instructions on how to utilize it, how to prepare it before you start using it, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. So for an instance, right here is a tank where the deionized water or distilled water or double distilled water is poured into, and the purpose of that water is not for drinking. This tank here, which is BPS, BPA-free plastic. It's a medical grade plastic made in Japan. So this plastic tank is specifically used to put your water, whether it's deionized water, distilled water, or double distilled water. And while it holds that water is actually used to go through the process of electrolysis within this machine and generate hydrogen through the SPE-PEM membrane, which is another technology. And you don't need to use any type of hydroxide, type of salts like potassium hydroxide or sodium hydroxide. That's actually very outdated technology. So this is the top technology with the SPE-PEM membrane. And again, this tank is not the tank that you drink out of the water. It's the tank that it's used to put the water in order to go through the process of electrolysis, generate your hydrogen, and then you breathe that hydrogen, therapeutic gas. So this is always closed, and basically in this particular machine you have an option. You can have us make it with a hydrogen port, which is what I recommend, or you can also add oxygen port. Now the indicator here indicates it's at 600 right now. It indicates the output of hydrogen. The oxygen output is always half of the hydrogen. So in this case, 600 divided by 2, 300 milliliters per minute of oxygen is what one would be getting if one was combining the two. Now you have 2 options. You could, actually 3 options, but really I'm going to explain what is the best option. You have an option to utilize only hydrogen or to utilize both hydrogen and oxygen together combined, and there are parts that you get and it's shown how to combine them, or you can utilize oxygen. Now the reason why I only utilize hydrogen is because hydrogen is an antioxidant. Oxygen is the oxidant, and even though some people believe that it's really beneficial to use both hydrogen and oxygen, I particularly don't use that at all, because all of the studies, and at this point we have, at least at this point of this recording, we have over 800 peer-reviewed medical studies, which were all done with what? Just hydrogen alone. And as an antioxidant, it is the best for the oxidative stress. So I highly recommend using oxygen, not the oxygen option, but if some people like it, we are able to make it, and we do make it with both options. So therefore, I want to show you the hydrogen port, which is right here. and then you receive about 5 of the breathing cannulas, which I already have inserted into this port of the hydrogen right on the bottom. Right above it is the oxygen port. And I'm going to show you how to put your breathing cannula in. It's really easy. The flap that you see on it goes downward, and then you take the nostril part, you insert it into the nostrils and put the tubes over your ears, and then you can adjust it right here. There's a plastic part that you can adjust it under your chin, and it holds it into place. Now, the advantage of the ARP Tech with this machine, which we had to have it specially engineered in order to be able to take the ARP Tech's conductivity, is you have this cell right here, which is called ARP Tech cell, and it comes in 3 levels. Each level has its own element or compound with crystals that is in its plasma state. What is plasma? Plasma is the 4th state of matter, and it's a superconductive substance. So now, as the superconductive substances are in here, there are 3 options, and I recommend level 3. It's wonderful. It's an energetic imprint, and it actually has a way of restructuring the water in this tank to make it go into its plasma state prior to going to electrolysis, which then generates the hydrogen that carries those electrons, because plasma electrons, they permeate the matter. So any physical matter can be permeated through the plasma electrons, and that's what this cell is about. It actually is installed in the back, right where the tank is. I'm not going to be turning around the machine to show you, but it's in the manual that you get with the machine. And basically it takes about 24 hours to fully move the water in this tank into the plasma state, into its bioactivated state, and generate more bioactive hydrogen, and also carry the imprint of the electrons that are in here. So with the plasma technology, for instance, if you were to take certain elements in their atomic state, you could overdose on them. For instance, like copper. Copper is a trace mineral, and you can't live without it, but if you have too much, you could have copper toxicity. However, in the plasma state, you have the energetic imprint, and it's much different than when we're talking the atomic structure minerals. And so this is an energetic imprint, and it will have its frequency and vibration that will work through the body energetically. So you can't overdose on any of the elements in their plasma state that will be permeating through the water with its plasma electrons, and also helping the hydrogen be more effective and give you more of the benefits. So that is the feature of the ARP Tech, that it's very much so unique to our Yes Lab, and you will not find anywhere in the world. And that's that. And then we have the TDS meter that you get with the machine. This will actually see what the dissolved solids are in there. It will give you the measure you want to have. I'm not going to take it out, but obviously you take it out. It's very self-explanatory how to use. And before you put your qualified water in here, which is either deionized water or it's distilled water, double distilled water, you want to check your water before you put it in here, because you want to make sure that it's at zero. Some distilled water companies make a really good water that is zero, some don't. So it's really important to know which one you're getting, and you don't want to put anything that is higher than zero. We do send you the best water choice and where to purchase it, and that's also really well. Or if you have a distiller, you can check your own distiller. Some distillers work really well, some don't. So that's why we send you the TDS meter to check before you put in your machine. Then this machine also has an adjustable setting. So it's right over here. It has plus, minus, and then there's a button that says set. And you can set your milliliters per minute, the output of your hydrogen, or you can also set the time. It has a timer, so you can time your session to half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour. People ask me how long should I be on hydrogen. There is no overdosing on hydrogen. The longer you can be on hydrogen, the better. However, for the life of the machine and taking care of your electronics, we recommend 1 hour and then rest, have the machine rest for about 20 minutes, and you can resume back again into that session as well, again, like 1 hour. And as long as you let your machine rest between the sessions for 15 to 20 minutes, you should be fine. And take care of your machine, and we'll take care of your health. And so then there's another feature in this machine, which is the Aromatherapy. And we actually, in the manual, which you receive with the machine, you will be shown how to use that feature properly. Another thing that you get with the machine is the facial treatment, which is this mask, and you would just put it over your head this way, and of course the port would go to the hydrogen, and you would receive the therapeutic gas healing for your skin, and it's really wonderful. It makes your skin beautiful and clean and healthy and glowing, just the way it should be, youthful, and which is your birthright. Health and beauty and perfection and happiness and joy is your birthright. And that's why we're here to give you all the tools that you need. And then you also will receive this pipe right here, which there's multiple use for this, this extra piping that you receive, which is, for an instance, you have this splitter. You receive 2 of them when you purchase the machine that has hydrogen and oxygen option. And then, for an instance, you would cut off a little stub right here. You would insert it right in here. Easy, nicely. And then you would put it in oxygen, and then another stub right here, put it in hydrogen, and combine them. And then you have this port to connect your breathing cannula into, if you are combining hydrogen with oxygen. Which, again, like I said, some people like that option, and that's why we make it available. And then also, this pipe as well, there's enough of it given to you so that you can use it for water. Now I'm going to switch from enjoying breathing of my hydrogen into water making. So right here, I have it set up, and I'm going to insert it right there, and as you see, the bubbles and here have started to go right there. Now I have a little bit of a surprise here, a little contraption. I was wondering if I'm going to show you or not, but this is another wonderful product that it's going to be coming, which is a bioactivator for water. It has the wonderful quality to restructure the water into the plasma state and make it more permeable to the cells and make it more wonderful for the metabolic functions of the cells. Because if you have a proper hydration in the cells and bring in more life force, which is light force, and you will have a lot more life force energy into your entire body, and you would be more youthful and happier and healthier and joyful, the way life should be. So therefore, this is right now making bubbles. So people ask, how long should they leave their water, like in this matter? But before I answer that question, I will say that you do need to cover it with some sort of cover. Some people simply put plastic over it, because you wouldn't probably, if you didn't have the biocharger, the bioactivator, which we have a little made up cover for it, you would want to cover it, that water, because you don't want that gas to be evaporating. The water has of hydrogen, with hydrogen, has a saturation point at 1.6 parts per million, meaning that under the pressure of our atmosphere, that is the saturation point that it will actually reach. Now, I'm not sure how some companies out there can claim more than 1.6 parts per million. The only way that can be done if they're adding certain minerals that that would actually make the hydrogen level go up. However, that is actually not something I recommend. I prefer using the actual hydrogen gas and infusing it with the therapeutic hydrogen gas, or using any one of our electrolysis process machines, like our little portable unit like Health Fountain, or the Fountain of Health, which is a on-demand electrolysis process unit that gives you your hydrogen water literally on demand. Or you can do it with this. For an instance, how long? Like for an instance, here we have probably over 36 ounces, and you would want to do it at least 20 minutes to get your possible saturation. Now you can test the saturation with the TrustLax meter, and it's the only meter that actually we trust and acknowledge as the meter that was actually used in all of the studies too. So the blue drops are not what we recommend. The blue drops they can actually expire. They can go through different temperatures, and it can actually affect them, the expiration date and all kinds of things. They don't work. They're not reliable. So if you really want to be reliable, you need the TrustLax meter, and that's the only meter. Now with this meter, there's a way to also use it. You have to also pay attention at the bottom, which is I'm not going to go into. You have to sometimes take a sandpaper and sand it off in order to be accurate between measures. Because mineral deposits can go on it. So anyways, but that's about 20 minutes. You want to cover it. And of course, in future, if we make the bioactivator available, some other feature that you may be interested in, even bringing more of the life force into your water, hydrogen water. Then, when it comes to the breathing cannula, I want to show you. It's really important to understand that you don't have to throw away the breathing cannulas. Most people actually love to reuse them, and myself included. And we sell this natural disinfectant spray. And between uses, after you're done with your session, you just turn the tubes up like this, you spray it in, so it goes in the tube and out, and then you can hang it this way so it faces downward, so it's nicely dripping down, and it gets to dry out. So I believe that I have covered everything in this video, and I invite you to start benefiting. Oh, there's one more thing that I want to say, and that is when it comes to the number one, aromatherapy. We have a special way and feature in here which we will explain in a manual how to use it. And number two, also our technicians and our engineers are always available to answer any questions, and they know the insides and outs of this machine, and they have put things together and the parts together, and so you're covered when it comes to the warranty. We actually have the 1-year warranty on this machine, and the reason for that is because some people ask us, why is it not longer? Well, the fact is that we do not know how people are using, what kind of water they're using. Of course, we can find out, and we would have to get into the machine and get into the cells. But the most important part is that if you follow the manual and if you use it and in a way it should be used, with giving it rest and treating it in a way that it's asked for, like in the manual, you will have a lifetime machine and there would never be any problems. But if there's anything that would ever happen, we have a technician team, we have engineers and we're here to help. So I believe I have covered everything, and I wish you the most invincible health ever, which is what everyone deserves. And God bless you, and until next time, thank you.